We're good.
Okay. Good afternoon and welcome to Caesar Rodney High School. It's certainly our pleasure to host this afternoon's event. I go way back to when I was principal of the school here. I remember the treasurer at that time, Jack Markell, was an advocate of education and started a financial literacy initiative. And it was something that impacted probably many of you when you were in elementary school. You probably didn't realize it at the time, but as treasurer, Governor Markell really cared about students and made students and their understanding of economics and preparation for the future his goal. It had never been done before. It hasn't been done since. That's why we were extremely pleased when the treasurer became governor, because we knew that he understood the needs of education. We always know that he would place education and educators at the forefront of everything that he did, but more importantly, that he would always make decisions that were in the best interest of our students and of our children. Today is another example of that. We're here to talk about the dual enrollment initiative and a scholarship opportunity. And for those of you out there, and I know that you're pleased to be here since you're missing class right now, we know that you're some of our best and brightest. And you're students that will definitely take part in our AP program and in our dual enrollment program that comes about next year. So without any further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce Delaware's education governor, Governor Jack Markell.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Nice to be with you. I love coming to CR, and I want to thank your superintendent, Dr. Fitzgerald, and your wonderful principal, Mrs. Knight. She keeps welcoming me back to meet with students, so I very much appreciate all the great work that you're doing here. I want to introduce a few other people who are here. You're going to hear from Mark Murphy. He is the Secretary of Education in Delaware, so he's in charge of the Department of Education, which works with our schools and our districts throughout the state. George Watson is the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences at the University of Delaware. Joanne Damangerm is with Delaware Tech, where she is the Assistant VP for Student Affairs. And Dr. Damangerm. And Dr. Pete Bailey is with Wilmington University, where he is the Vice President of External Affairs. And Danielle Jones is with Delaware State University. She's an admissions officer. She actually covers some other states, DC, Maryland, Virginia, but she's covering today for the person who normally covers Delaware. And so I want to thank all of them for being here. I also want to thank your teachers and your guidance counselors who are here for the very important and very hard work that they're doing. So the reason that we're here today is to talk about a new proposal that we are making and that we expect to be supported in the General Assembly and really in support of some efforts that we think you will want to make. The bottom line, as you all probably know, is that education beyond high school is more important than ever, and that comes in many shapes and forms. But by 2020, so not too long from now, 60% of the jobs in Delaware are going to require training beyond high school. And we really want to, education is not going to be over. Even for those who maybe don't go on for additional training, education is not over when you walk across the stage and get your diploma at the end of 12th grade. It will continue for a lifetime, and that is very, very real. So 60% of our jobs are going to require additional training beyond high school, but only 30% of Delaware's students persist into a second year of college, whether it's 4-year or 2 years. And we're here today because we think we've got a responsibility to try to help sort of nudge you along so you can continue additional education and really prepare for your future. And many of you, and I understand most of the students in this room are likely to want to go, certainly to a 2-year or 4-year, and we want to make sure that we're doing what we can to support you as you apply, attend, and succeed in getting in pursuing a higher education. So we are definitely moving in the right direction as a state. And back in around September, I think, we announced a new partnership with the College Board. The College Board are the people who run the SAT and the PSET. And I just read, actually, on my way over here, that they're announcing today some kind of change to the SAT. I don't know what that entails. But what we've done is really in partnership with the College Board, and we were the first state to do this. We sent application and financial aid resources to all the students in Delaware who were, all the seniors who were college ready based on the SAT, encouraging them to apply. And for eligible students, excuse me, based on income, we provided application fee waivers, because not everybody can afford the application fee to apply to college, and so we're making it easier than ever for those students to get a fee waiver so they don't actually have to pay for the application itself. We followed up in schools, just about every high school in the state. Excuse me. We've got a program underway where during English class you're working on essays, and during computer lab or other classes actually filling out the applications, and in many cases doing so with volunteers from throughout the state who are working with students on the applications or with parents on financial aid forms. Now, just a month or two ago, we were really the only state invited to an event at the White House which was put together to focus on this issue of improving college access, making sure that more students who can be successful in college actually apply and actually attend. And at that meeting, we made some commitments about some additional assistance we're going to provide. And one of the things that we announced was a new effort to celebrate students when they're admitted to college, because just as there's like National Signing Day for athletes who are going to college, we think it's important to celebrate students who may not be athletes but who are going as well. Thank you. I could see you standing over there, and thank you. So we really do believe that as a state we're making some very good progress in terms of improving the opportunities for students to access a college education. A lot of students think a lot of students don't bother to apply because they think they could never afford it, or sometimes they come from families where it's not really in the realm of experience that they ought to apply, and we're really trying to focus on that. But today we're outlining a new initiative that I think could be very positive for you. So beginning in the next school year, we're going to be starting a scholarship fund that will make college courses available to high school seniors who have demonstrated college readiness no matter what their financial circumstances may be. And we're going to encourage students of all backgrounds to take a college level class while they're still in high school. The bottom line is cost shouldn't be an obstacle to anybody in terms of taking these college level classes while you're still in high school, and we're going to make sure that it's not. And there are really two main purposes in establishing this program. The first is that if you experience college level work, and we know you've got here at CR a lot of very high level classes, but we also know, because there's been a lot of research done around the country, we also know that if you experience college level work while you are still in high school, whether it's on a college campus or whether it's within these walls, that will help you transition to the even more rigorous expectations of you when you get to college. The second thing is we can help you afford not only the expense of earning the college credit while you're in high school, but also the high cost of college overall. And as many of you know from taking AP classes and exams, the further along you are when you graduate from here, the fewer courses that you may need to take once you get to college. Is everybody with me so far? And so that can mean less debt that you graduate college with. It can mean spending a greater percentage of your time in higher level classes when you get to college. So we've made this a priority, and it was actually when I gave what's called the State of the State speech in January, it was the first proposal I made because we think it's that important. And research shows that one of the best ways to ensure that students are successful in college is to give them the opportunity to take a college class while they're still in high school. And these dual enrollment students, that's what they're called. If you're taking a college class while you're still in high school, it's called dual enrollment. These dual enrollment students are twice as likely to enroll and to succeed in higher education. And the U.S. Department of Education has found that these dual enrollment students require less remediation, have a higher GPA, and earn more credits in college. And so whether it's bringing college courses to our high schools, which CR is working to do, and I really appreciate your leadership in making that happen, or helping our students take courses directly on college campuses, we're really committed to expanding these kinds of opportunities for our high school students. I want to make one last point, which is all about, this is really about presenting you with opportunities to challenge yourself. And I'm a huge believer that education is a two-way street. You know, all of the adults here, those of us who are over a certain age, older than you guys, we have a responsibility to do our very best to make sure you've got all, what you need while you're at school here, including these opportunities to take these college classes while you're in high school. But there's an unbelievable obligation on your part too, which is to apply yourself. And I know you probably have heard this now for 17 years, but I want to give you a sense of how real this is. The PSAT and SAT are actually pretty good tests. They're probably amongst the best tools that we have of predicting whether or not high school students really ought to be pursuing college or not. And so in Delaware, we made the commitment a couple years ago, as you probably know, we pay for every high school sophomore in the state to take the PSAT during the school day. So have you all taken the PSAT during the school day? Well, that wouldn't have been possible a few years ago. It used to be that the PSAT had to be taken on a weekend. And we also pay, as you know, for the high school juniors. Has that happened yet this year?
April.
It's happening in April. You're all juniors. You're going to be, I'm expecting you're all going to be taking the SAT on a school day in April. Again, you don't have to come in on the weekend to take the test, and the state pays for that. So that's a big change. But what's happened is the College Board has done some very interesting work, and they found that of high school students who scored on a PSAT, they scored high enough that there would have been a very good reason to predict that they'd be successful in college. Of those students, the students who were sophomores score high enough, really determined to be college ready. By the time they graduate, only about 14% of them are no longer college ready. And of students from low-income families, it's closer to 30%. So think about that. You're a high school sophomore, you do really well on the SAT, very good indication that you could be successful in college. But by the time you graduate, if you're coming from a low-income household across the country, 30% of those kids are no longer college ready. And here's why. And this is why I talk about this being a two-way street. It's because these students, it's really important that you challenge yourselves with the most rigorous classes. That's how you accelerate your education. Don't just go through the motions. I think the fact that you're, asked to be here today is a pretty good indication that there's a lot of confidence that you guys have a very bright future in front of you. But the bright future doesn't happen just by showing up. And that's true even, for your last, year and a half or, year and a quarter of high school. So it's really important that you challenge yourself and you take the most rigorous classes, because that's the best chance that you're going to be on a trajectory where you can be successful in college as well. So across the state, a lot of students are really answering this call. More students than ever before in Delaware are taking AP tests, AP classes, and passing the AP tests, which is great. And across the state, more than 2,500 students who graduated last year took an AP exam during high school, which is more than twice the number of students who took them a decade ago. You got that? So that is very good progress. So it's about 30% of our graduating class, up from 18% a decade ago. So it's absolutely moving in the right direction. So I'm hoping, I know this is a very long set of opening remarks, but I thought it was important, and I'm hoping that you guys really take advantage of this opportunity. We don't develop these opportunities for us. We develop them for you because we really believe in it. And we know how important, the time that you spend here at Caesar Rodney High School is to your future. And I'm sure I've got a high school senior at home. He's 18 years old. He is ready to get out. And it's just, I'm having the conversation with you that I've had a number of times, and he doesn't really want to hear it from me as his parent, and maybe you don't want to hear it from me either, in my role as governor. But what I'm saying is really true. I mean, these are incredible opportunities for you. You've got leadership here at CR who is in the district who is working to make this happen, and you've got these Delaware universities who are here. I mean, believe me, these four folks who are here have plenty of places that they could be today, but they really believe in this program, and they're doing their part to make it successful for you. We're trying to do our part, and so the last and the most important part is your part. And so I really appreciate the chance to stop by. We love coming to CR. This is really a fabulous school. It's a beautiful school, and just more important than how the school looks is the people who are here. And we're just really impressed with so much of the work that goes on here. So thanks for having me, and I think next I am introducing Mark Murphy. Mark is a former teacher, a former principal, and he's worked with schools literally all over the country with hundreds of them, and now he's our Secretary of Education in Delaware. And so please help me in welcoming Mark Murphy.
Afternoon, everyone. Sometimes the governor asks me to get up and speak to a little bit more of the details, but as you can see, we have a governor who understands the education details and is incredibly passionate about it, which is an honor to work for and really a great opportunity. So I'd like to touch on two things with you so that you understand how all of this will work. Especially, I believe everybody in the room is a junior, and so there may even be opportunities as you go into next year to take part in some of this work that the governor just described. So let's talk first about what the ingredients are to make this happen. Right? So the first ingredient is we need partnerships. And you see the colleges and universities here today. So they've got to be willing to come to the table and offer these types of college classes to high school seniors. And we have that here in Delaware. Right? That's one ingredient. A second ingredient is that we have got to have high schools and districts that are willing to pursue this. Okay? And you happen to go to a high school with, I think, 29 advanced placement classes? 21 advanced placement classes. Right? That's incredible. You have obviously incredible commitment amongst your district and school leadership to offer all of you those types of opportunities. And I don't know if you realize how lucky you have it, but many schools will have 3, 4, 5. Right? You have 21. And so a partnership there with the district and the school. Right? And the third ingredient really is being able to have a state level partnership with a governor and a legislature that is willing to support this work and willing to help fund this work so that it can be available to all of you. Right? So that's the first big thing, all those partnerships. And the second thing is, so how do we make this actually happen? So the way that this happens is that your school and district make a partnership with the colleges and universities. So maybe they partner with UD or with Del State or with Del Tech, and they say, can we offer this college class right here in Caesar Rodney? Or can our CR students come to your campus and take that class? So they make that partnership, number one. Number two, we at the state level help to identify the students who are ready to take part in those classes. So as you sit here today, you think, am I ready to take a college class right now? The answer is probably yes. Many of you are probably in AP classes as we speak, which is college level coursework here in high school. And so we help to identify those students. The third piece is that we remove any obstacles for you and your family in regards to whether or not you can afford it. And so you come here every day. You go to school here every day. We don't want any money issues to come in the way of you and college credit. And in addition to that, obviously, as the governor noted, it will decrease your college costs if you take one of these classes here in high school. It'll be less money you have to spend on college. So those are the steps. That's how we do this, and the partnerships. And the last thing I'd highlight is the last thing that the governor highlighted, which is that it doesn't matter if we set up all these partnerships and if you've got committed school and district leadership And if we are able to provide the funding to do it, it doesn't matter unless all of you take advantage of it. It doesn't matter unless you've worked hard in 9th, 10th, 11th grade and that you're ready to take one of these classes. We're just setting this all up so that you can take advantage of it, but it's really on you. It's on you to work hard and get smart. It's on you to do the work over the years that leads up to this opportunity in high school. Right? As the governor has a senior at home, I have a junior at home, and again, we have these conversations all the time, as I'm guessing you do at home as well. So the last thing I'd like to be able to do is introduce your principal, who you obviously all know well, but I have the honor of introducing her. And I will say that I was here last week. Some of you may have seen me last week. I had an opportunity to meet with the senior class presidents, to talk to a number of seniors throughout the building, and to visit some other grade levels. And one thing I thought was incredible is that you are in a school where you have district and building leadership in Dr. Fitzgerald and Mrs. Knight, who obviously value providing you with the opportunity to take tough classes. They know that if you take tough classes, you're more likely to succeed later on. And so I heard a story last week from the seniors in this school about 9th graders taking advanced placement classes. I've only heard that story 1 or 2 other times. It doesn't happen very many places. And it certainly doesn't happen. That type of opportunity does not happen without incredible building leadership that is committed to making that opportunity a reality. And you've got that here at CR. So I welcome Mrs. Knight.
First of all, I'd like to thank Governor Markell and Secretary of Ed Murphy for being here today and their support for this initiative. This is just a wonderful opportunity for everyone. I'm certainly very pleased that you chose Caesar Rodney High School to bring this information to. And as you look out here at the 50-some, almost 60 juniors that are here, the class of 2015, each of these students are either AP, high-level, advanced placement students who really are focused on their futures. And we are so pleased to be able to have this opportunity to allow our students to look forward and to look at next year, possibly taking a course in college to kind of give you that step up. We know we offer the best AP courses here. We know we continue each year to do that. So we help prepare you to be career and college ready. But we also know that we have to do even a little more. And we always want to continue to do more. This opportunity, as the governor and Secretary of Ed have said, it's going to be there for you. We have 4 institutions here that are here to work with us, work with the district, work with you, to help you get that college course under your belt, that dual enrollment piece. And we're very excited about that. But again, it's something that if you're willing to do, if you have the desire, we're here to help you move in that direction, between our counselors, between the staffing here, between the district office, Dr. Fitzgerald and the Division of Instruction at the district. If it were not for their support, we could not move in this direction. But we know we have a population of students that we need to service, and that's why we're here. We want to make those opportunities available to each of you. And the 60 students that are sitting here today, you're the representatives of a larger population. You are the ones that are going to take that initiative, and then other students, the sophomore class upcoming and the freshman class moving up, they're going to say, you know what, that opportunity is there for me also. And as we move forward each year, there will be more and more opportunities for this. Wouldn't it be wonderful to go off to college and have possibly 6 credits under your belt, you know? And at the cost of college today, what a wonderful opportunity. So as we move forward and as we work with the institutions of higher education here and work out some programs for you, we welcome your interest. We will help you move forward. Anything we can do to support you, we are here for. So again, I thank you, and I know, as Caesar Rodney Riders, I know looking out here that you all are interested in this type of program. You all want to have credits under your belt and move off to college. I'm sure your parents also want that, because then it's, again, as the governor and Secretary of Ed have said, I mean, That's money that they don't have to put out, and it makes it a little bit better for you financially. So ask questions, see me, see your counselors, because we're going to work with you to help make that a reality. So again, I thank you, and I think next we're going to open it up to some comments or questions. Is that correct?
We're going to hear from the
Or we're going to hear from higher ed.
From the higher ed folks. So
Who is first? Okay. Wilmington?
Good afternoon. First, I'd like to say I'm Dr. Pete Bailey from Wilmington University, that we support Governor Markell and his efforts to offer the dual enrollment programs to Delaware's high school students. He's absolutely right when he says that these programs will result in more students going on to college. From his first day on the job, our governor has worked hard to improve our K-12 programs, including funding, testing, and teacher preparation. This program is one more testament to his commitment to education. Wilmington University started a dual enrollment program in the fall of 2011 at William Penn High School, part of the Colonial School District. Students at William Penn earn both high school and college credit while going to their high school classes. Our dual enrollment program now comprises partnerships with 5 school districts. We will offer 7 additional partnerships with school districts starting this coming fall. Since 2011, 378 students have earned credits at Wilmington University in dual enrollment programs, and they didn't pay any tuition. It's free. These courses that are taught in the high schools by school district faculty who qualify as Wilmington University adjunct faculty. The high school teachers complete our rigorous training before teaching a course. As I said, we offer these courses at no cost to the students. The courses are primarily entry-level courses that are highly transferable to other institutions. So no matter where you continue your education, you'll take that credit with you. The university also offers junior and senior high school students the opportunity to enroll in our first year college classes. It's a program called the Early College Credit Program. You can go to any of our locations and pay 10% of our tuition, which is 10%, it's 90% off, and enroll in a typical college first year class. You have to have a minimum GPA and permission from your parents, but it's a great opportunity. Over 200 students have taken advantage of that since we've created it. These dual enrollment and early college credit programs support our mission of open access to give anyone who is willing to work hard the opportunity to succeed. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Joanne Daminger, and I'm from Delaware Technical Community College. It certainly is a pleasure to be here with the governor and secretary and the administrators of your school at this exciting time. Delaware Tech is always looking to grow our dual enrollment programs. Our programs vary from high school to high school. We have some programs where you would be taking classes at one of our 4 campuses, or you could be taking classes in your high school. Last fall, we actually had 320 students that were well served through our partnership programs, and they exist in 13 different high schools in the state. An example of one of our programs would be a fairly new program with Red Clay School District, where students at Dickinson and McKean are taking courses that actually qualify them when they leave high school for certain certifications. These certifications can then be used at a 4-year institution, or for some students who are looking to put their education right to work, maybe while they also pursue a 4-year degree, can actually leave the program and be certified and be employable right away upon completion. We are currently looking and working with the Department of Education to establish almost 12 more pathways, maybe even 14, to provide this type of integrated curriculum so that students might be able to go through the program and upon completion get their high school diploma, but also complete their associate's degree in just 1 semester. So once again, the opportunity to be finished in 1 semester and then off to your 4-year degree And the money saving is almost astronomical, or perhaps, for those who might want to go right to work. So the opportunities are there, and it certainly is a pleasure to be here today to tell you about them. I'd like to end with just a very brief personal story today, and that is from my own youngest daughter, who is now 26, graduated college and working on her own. But she thought that she had prepared well for college, and she actually transferred in 9 credits to the college that she went to. 3 of those were from dual enrollment at her high school, where she was able to take a class, and 6 were from advanced placement. However, I must tell you that one of her first phone calls to me after she had gotten settled in at college was, "Mom, why didn't I do more of those dual enrollment courses?" And what she found is that when she got to college, she was competing, or she was there with students who were transferring in 1 and 2 semesters, meaning that she was living then with students who were starting their sophomore year at the same time that she was in her first semester. So I just offer that to you because sometimes it doesn't become real until you get a chance to be in the future and look backward. But please consider this wonderful opportunity, and best wishes to all of you.
Thank you.
I'm George Watson. I'm Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences at the University of Delaware, as mentioned. I'm also a physics professor. I understand there might be some students of physics here. Okay, good.
They're afraid you're
Nobody wants to raise their hand. They're afraid you're going to ask them a question.
there's no booing and hissing, so that's good. That's the good news. Why am I here? The College of Arts and Sciences at UD is responsible for most of the coursework that students take in their first year. So I've spent a lot of my time thinking about access and success of our students. I'm one of the most responsible agents, I guess, for delivering on our commitment to Delawareans, which is both academic commitment and a financial commitment. And I agree with the governor's assessment that early college coursework really is a key to a successful transition to full-time college work. So I'm very enthusiastic. I wasn't sure what I was going to hear today, but I'm very enthusiastic about this effort to expand your opportunities in high school to take college credit-bearing courses. We've had some success in our partnerships. We've worked a long time in partnership with Delaware Technical Community College on the Academic Challenge in Sussex County, which involves our Associate in Arts program faculty and bringing students to Owens campus in Georgetown to take college courses. We've also invested quite a bit of effort in we've identified one of our critical courses at UD is called Critical Reading and Writing. Success in that course really propels you onto success through the rest of your college studies. And we've come up with a system where we're doing dual enrollment English 110 right now in 8 high schools, where the teachers come to our campus, take a graduate level course in composition, English composition, to prepare them to teach English 110 to it's the identical course, very same standards as you would take at the University of Delaware in your first year. So again, I applaud this initiative. I'm very enthusiastic about it, and I'm pleased to have been invited to your high school. It's my first opportunity. It's a fantastic school. I enjoyed walking the halls, trying to find the library early.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank our representatives from higher ed. Danielle, did you want to say anything? Or? Thank you. So I understand that Mindy, Gavin, and Megan may have a question, and we can take questions from anybody else afterwards if we have time. So am I correct that Mindy, Gavin, and Megan?
Mindy, you can start.
Okay.
Stand up, please.
I was wondering, what's the actual difference between AP and dual credit? Because they sound really similar. And is there going to be an AP test that goes on with the dual credit, or is it just a continuing class?
You want to take that?
Sure. Great question.
AP and dual enrollment are very similar. They're similar in the sense that the level of work demanded in each of these classes is intended to be college level work, okay? But they're set up differently. right? Because in AP, you're taking a test at the end, and then you are asking a college and university to accept the score that you got. If you got a 3 or a 4 or a 5, you're asking them, will you accept this score for credit? Right? And the difference is that with dual enrollment, you are actually taking a college course and achieving college credit with a passing score of a C or a B in that class that then is transferred in when you go to college. Okay, so very simply stated, AP gives you college level coursework, but you got to take that test and pass it and do really well on it and ask the college to accept that. Versus the dual enrollment means that you are actually in a college class with a college here in your high school. Make sense?
Okay.
Gavin?
Gavin?
All right, so like with the dual enrollment and the like prestigious and the AP classes, what are the is there a reason like if you had to choose one, like what would you think would be more beneficial?
You can take that too.
Sure, sure.
Maybe I'll sit down.
So there's no simple answer for that really important question. So I'll offer a couple of thoughts. One is that you go to a high school that offers 21 courses. And so there may certainly be advanced placement classes here at your high school that you wouldn't be able to take in a dual enrollment environment. So let's say, for example, that dual enrollment offers you college level English and a college level math class, right? But maybe not AP Spanish, right? Or AP World History. And so there are benefits to both. There are benefits to both. And as I just noted here, the one benefit to dual enrollment that doesn't exist with AP is that you are enrolled in a college class, right? And if you do well in that college class, that is like taking a college class certificate to the college you go to, which may be the one you're enrolled with, or might be a different one. And there is a stronger guarantee that that is credit in that college.
Megan?
Yeah. It could be. It'd be half.
could be.
Do you want to take that?
It can vary. It can be, like, for example, in college you take a semester, but in high school, if we were to do it, if it was offered here, it could extend the entire year as you would. You'd fit it into your schedule as a course for the entire year. There are some that are semesters, so depending on our partnerships and if we offer here or you go there, we would work that out.
I think that the overarching goal with that is that you are supported in a way where you can successfully navigate that class. I was in a class here last week where I think the pass rate is 93% or 97% of the AP. A part of that was due because the supports the school has put in place for a 2-year trajectory for you to do well in that class.
Any other questions?
I just have one
Yep.
real quick question. How many of you are intrigued by this and would welcome this opportunity? Just a show of hands. I knew.
Good question. There's somebody over here who had a question. Yeah.
Do all the colleges accept these, like this dual enrollment? And like, since we've already like scheduled, how are we gonna like
We'll take care of all of that. The scheduling piece we'll take care of. Good question about accepting the credit.
We're currently working with these schools to determine which courses we're going to offer next year. So as soon as we sign the agreement, as soon as we put things in place, then we'll notify you, and then you can readjust your schedules, and we'll move forward.